this group come from? The retail. Now what we saw, a lot of problems were occurring, but a lot of challenges that were happening was we didn't do that. We just self-consumed. Maybe we did a bit of that, but they were perhaps majoritively this group, masquerading as that group. Yeah? Or if you were high up in the ranks, you might just be able to do enough personal volume here to cover both groups and just get the volume there. And what happens is it just erodes over time. Yeah? So the critical thing is, we bring people in here, a big funnel, coming in here, that way, so that they progress through your organization. So the critical point, to William's question, where do we start? What's the first thing to do? We've got to have a strong focus on getting as many people into this pool as possible. And if we do 1,500 points of retail sales in a month, there's significant value and benefit for that for you personally. You get your 25% retail profit, which, if you've done retailing before, most of you didn't get.
Yeah.
Yeah? So now you do. So if you're doing 1,500 points of retail, that's a good few $100s worth of retail profit. Critically as well, so you get your 1,500 points, you get your
375
that's right, you've already done it, so 375 in retail. You'll get, what else will you get for that? 225 in Nikken reward points.
Also 300 for silver content.
And if you're above silver, you'll get extra leadership bonus for that as well. I'm going to start out if I'm brand new.
Right.
Yeah?
Oh.
Okay? But because the vast majority of people are below the silver rank. Okay? It gets bigger, of course, if you teach this. But that 1,500 points is the critical point, I think, for duplication. I think we need to lead from the front, do it ourselves, because I talked a lot about last night culture. Yeah? We've got to have a strong culture in the business. And that culture has to be, everyone does that 1,500 points of retail every month. Now, the great benefit of that was lower the price, which gives you more access to customers, gives you real retail profit that you weren't getting before, but also with the 25% off consumables for those that are on auto ship, it means you can get your customers purchasing month after month after month, like your distributors are, that are customers masquerading as distributors. So you should be able to maintain that volume without having to go out there looking for 20 new customers every single month. Yes? Can you see why we did that? So once you get that as your foundation, I'm giving a very long answer. Are you okay with this? Once you get your foundation there, what's the next thing to do?
Until your presidency expires, I'm okay with it.
What happens next?
Duplicate?
You duplicate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
along those lines, to get focused in on this
Yeah.
is me, yeah?
Yeah.
So in this bell curve of 22 years, 0 to 22 years,
Yeah.
and as we work our way back up the next one, in this pyramid scheme, that $2 million of volume started at 0,
Yeah.
and went up and up and up and up, and it started in these levels,
Yeah.
and it was very fruitful. And then over time, the volume shifted from here to here,
Yeah.
which this compensation plan only pays 6 levels, not 7.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of happiness at 7 through 40th level. So I get that. That's where we are. This is the new vision.
Yeah.
My activities, however,
Yeah.
are ingrained in 22 years of habits and paradigms.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anybody relate to that?
Yeah.
So here I am going, okay, it's reality. I'm okay with that because I know where we're headed. And I'm excited about that new model. But I'm trying to get through this
Yeah.
with the idea that I've got this that ain't seeing much any of it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, over 22 years, it's pushed out of the compensation plan. It is what it is. It's
Yeah.
not coming back. However, as far as one of my activities today, I called platinum because one of his upline is here and she's re-engaged.
Yeah.
And there's some activity going on down below with some customers
Yeah.
that possibly want to re-engage
Yeah.
or possibly need to be transferred over to what they really are.
Yeah.
But I asked this person, I said, what's your position? He goes, I'd like to leave. And I said, that's fantastic, because I'd like you to leave. Really? Seriously. No disrespect, it's not that I don't like him, he doesn't want to play.
Yeah,
I asked him if he wanted to play, no, I want to leave, let me help that.
yeah,
Because I want to help this person that's here get some of this new energy that wants to play here.
yeah,
So I don't want to spend all my time doing that though.
Yeah.
So as I'm attempting to transition from this old uniform that I used to wear that isn't apparently coming back anytime soon,
yeah.
and transitioning into this, how do I become this person?
That's a
Good
question.
question.
But I think the critical thing here, I'll rub this off, rub this off. It's taught a lot in network marketing, especially in stair-step breakaway plans, that you get profitability in your width, strength, and stability in your depth. Yeah? So it means the more you recruit wide, and why is that? Because what's happened in your tree, for example, is you're up here, and you've got all these people, and then it goes all the way down many levels.
Yeah, it shines well in the sun with all the pin does, but
Yeah, but it doesn't, yeah,
it
but
doesn't
you've got,
compute the cash.
there's a lot of empty holes
Yeah.
there. Yeah. And so the typical thing is, if you want to get the stability, the strength back up, it is going to be a matter of creating new legs.
Well, and it's,
Building those first 3 levels.
and it's critical that I lead by example, and not wait for them.
Yeah.
So you and I, hypothetically, if we were to say in a couple of weeks, we'd be sponsoring
Yeah.
new member, yeah?
Yeah.
Hypothetically? William, hypothetically?
Yeah, it's not official yet, but. So if I was, and this is the way I understand it, we haven't
Yeah.
talked about this, like you said, when are we gonna talk? Well, it's
Yeah.
now in front of everybody. My attitude is one of, in order for me to have this not repeat itself,
Yeah.
again, I don't wanna go through 20 years of that, okay?
Yeah.
I wanna be at the end of 20 years and be done,
Yeah.
okay? In the sense that I don't have to go build something again,
Yeah.
it's gonna last. So, if I was to go out there and say that my role is to build a database
Yeah.
of customers
Yeah.
that either A, enroll to be educated
Yeah.
through the drip campaign, coming from me and the company and social media, and or B, enroll to get some products at a
Yeah.
great price. It's really our role as
Yeah.
a sponsor, to identify somebody that doesn't deserve to be just upgraded at $99 because they're buying lactoferrin
Mm.
once a month at a great price. They have to demonstrate something to be upgraded.
I think that's a really important point. I touched on a point last night called how anxiety is the counterfeit emotion for urgency. Yeah, and consequently, a lot of consultants, I think, work out in the field because we're measured month by month. Yeah, we've got monthly targets. Sometimes that can create anxiety versus urgency. So people want to go out there and recruit everyone, so that if someone signs the dotted line, I've accomplished something. Yeah, I can tick a box. Yeah, and I think it's important in this process that we want to get as many people in as customers as possible, but being prospects or potential distributors, I think we do need to learn to be a little selective as to who we upgrade and work with. But because otherwise,
Because it's time.
yeah, you'll be like an octopus on roller skates, and you won't get very far, but you'll expire an awful lot of energy. So we need to be selective to manage your time.
So what's something I should be looking for with a customer? Like, for instance, I was telling somebody that if somebody has had a positive product experience with lactoferrin and has told 4 or 5 other people, and they're calling me to get more information about how to get them the product,
Yeah.
that may be an indicator.
Sure.
You know, some inbound enthusiasm,
Yeah.
you know?
I think also looking at their order history as well. You know, there's an important part here is providing customer service so that you can keep in contact with them, support them. If they're buying regular orders, if they're placing regular orders, if they're going across the range, if you're having positive feedback or interaction, The critical thing is there's always a space. This is what I've learned from when I was a distributor a number of years back, was there is a space between adding someone to your contact list and then setting the appointment or making the contact. And the space between the two is building relationships. One of the great things, and that's been often a barrier for people. They can get lots of names, but then they don't know how to build the relationship and then do the presentation and then bring them in. Having them come in as a customer is a great way to build the relationship. You find some common beliefs, you find an opportunity to stay in contact with them, to communicate with them, and over time, you can find that as you build that rapport, you've got an opportunity there to improve their experience as well.
So as far as actions goes, in this particular tree here,
Yeah.
I had a dormant silver that was actively in the box of distributor, but really a customer
Yeah,
for over a decade.
yeah,
That appears at a function in Logan
yeah,
because of what she's been reading about in the emails,
yeah.
your new vision, all the changes, and brings a guest with her. Where's the order? Another room. So based on her actions,
Yeah,
when I walk in the room and see a 10-year-old customer that was disguised as a distributor that says, I'm back, and
yeah,
I'm back because of your vision.
yeah,
So same thing goes for her. Nothing really changes in what we're talking about. She has to go in and put in the database
yeah,
of customers.
yeah,
As the ABC is concerned with me and you, when she brings the guest in here, see, this is where I'm a little bit confused because I want to jump right into here's how you can make $5,000 a month in this model, which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
yeah. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
And so I'm really struck because what I'm trying to say is there's two different people here.
yeah,
There's someone that's jumping back in from a disguised view into a show me the retail model.
yeah,
And I brought a guest. That's not a customer yet.
yeah.
And should I start him as a customer and upgrade him, or should I just leave him as a customer, or should I just go jump into the customer? So,
Yeah, yeah.
anybody else relate to that?
Yes.
Yes.
This is
Not a bad
question.
thing.
It's
Not a
great
bad
question.
thing. Yeah.
I would say, first of all, the next step here is invite. Yeah, you talked about, because you kind of raised 2 points here. Yeah, one is how do we filter? But one of the ways that we filter people is by asking them to do things. Yeah, extending commitments, invitations to make and keep commitments. That is a great filter. You get to see where people are really at. You know, our time gives us a chance to demonstrate what we value. How I use my time reflects my priorities. Yeah, if someone says I don't have time, they're saying it's not important to me right now. Yeah, but we've got to learn that invitations, we've got to always be inviting people to do things so that we can filter out where their commitments lie and find out. In a scenario like that, it's what Stephen R. Covey's said many, many years ago: seek first to understand and then to be understood. Yeah. So in a situation like that, we've got to lead with questions. Yeah. So before we jump in, because this way here, one of the challenges with that was it was led by private agenda, my agenda. I'm going to show you how to make money, tons of it, because maybe that's motivated by what a lot of the networkers get motivated by. But that's not what brought your inactive person back.
Yeah, it wasn't even me.
Yeah.
Showed up on her own.
Yeah. So the question there is, what I would do then is I want to sit down and ask questions. Yeah. Communicate.
Oh, wait, okay?
When?
Janet.